Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a highly specific, totally fascinating predictive path for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The tournament bracket is literally about to kick into overdrive starting on the 10th, and we're going to map out exactly how this projection unfolds. We're talking match by match, step by step, taking you all the way from the Elite Eight straight to the grand finale.
So, who do you have conquering the 2026 World Cup? Who do you have taking the whole thing? Before we look at the numbers, seriously, think about your own bracket for a second. The pressure in knockout football is just unbelievable, and predicting the chaotic nature of it all is never easy. But today, we aren't just throwing darts at a board. We're going to walk through a definitive, calculated prediction path pulled straight from our source. It's a wild journey filled with dominant wins, intense clashes, and some absolutely shocking upsets.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer scale of the competition we're dealing with as we kick things off. We're looking at a wide, incredibly dangerous field of heavyweights and absolute wildcards. We have four distinct, massive matchups lined up. France taking on Morocco, Belgium clashing with Spain, England facing off against Norway, and Argentina squaring up against Switzerland. Every single one of these squads has a pathway, but according to this projection, only four are going to survive. Let's break down exactly how these quarterfinal matches are predicted to play out.
Starting things off on the 10th, we've got our opening quarterfinal, France versus Morocco. Now, despite the historically high stakes of a World Cup quarterfinal, the prediction here is actually remarkably clear. France is projected to comfortably handle Morocco in this matchup. There is genuinely no hesitation in this projection. France's pure quality is expected to just shine through, allowing them to advance without breaking too much of a sweat.
But hey, if France's victory is predicted to be a walk in the park, this next match is anything but. Here we have Belgium going toe-to-toe with Spain. Our source explicitly describes this specific quarterfinal as an incredibly intense clash. We are talking about two absolute European heavyweights colliding on the biggest stage imaginable. The tension here is dialed all the way up, with both teams fighting desperately for that semifinal spot.
So what's going to be the deciding factor when the margins are this tight? Well, it all comes down to Belgium's sheer momentum. The prediction specifically highlights that Belgium's form will simply overpower Spain. It's that overpowering, undeniable run of form that acts as the ultimate difference maker. That's what will allow Belgium to finally break through Spain's defenses and secure their well-earned place in the semifinals.
Which brings us to quarterfinal number 3, England versus Norway, and the exact word used by our source to describe this match: dangerous. This is a highly dangerous situation for both sides. Unlike the previous games we just mapped out, the projection here says neither team is going to be able to easily take control of the pitch. It's predicted to be this grueling, tightly contested battle where neither side can firmly put it away in regular time.
And because neither team can establish that dominance, this dangerous matchup descends into pure, unadulterated chaos. A thrilling penalty shootout. You know the drill. It is the ultimate test of nerves. So, navigating through this chaotic projection, who actually survives? Well, the source predicts a massive, dramatic advancement for Norway. Through all the unbelievable pressure of those penalty kicks, Norway manages to pull off the win and punch their ticket to the Final Four.
All right, let's take a breath. After the heart-stopping tension of that shootout, we can cool down just a bit for our final quarterfinal clash, Argentina against Switzerland. In this case, the source keeps it very straightforward. Argentina is positioned as the heavy, clear favorite here. They're fully expected to handle their business efficiently, eliminate Switzerland, and round out our Final Four.
Let's move to Minjic and see how this builds our bracket for the semifinals. The stakes have escalated dramatically at this point. On one side, we're looking at a massive European collision, France taking on Belgium. On the other side, we've got the established favorites facing off against the dark horse, Argentina versus Norway. The equation is set, guys. Let's see who is predicted to make it to the ultimate stage.
We'll kick off with that first semifinal clash, France facing Belgium. Now, remember what we established just a minute ago about Belgium. Their form was incredibly overpowering against Spain. But the prediction here states directly that France's sheer power will simply be too much. They are going to defeat the previously overpowering Belgian squad. France is predicted to halt Belgium's momentum dead in its tracks, securing their spot in the grand finale.
Now we turn our attention to the second semifinal. And honestly, the contrast here couldn't be sharper. On one hand, you have the undeniable football giants, Argentina, the clear favorites who smoothly handled their quarterfinal. On the other hand, you have Norway, the absolute dark horse who survived that grueling, incredibly dangerous penalty shootout just to get here. It seems like a total mismatch on paper, doesn't it? But guys, this is where the prediction completely flips the script. The projection literally states that Argentina will lose to Norway. No way, right? It is a massive, truly shocking upset prediction. The underdogs aren't just putting up a valiant fight, they are predicted to send the Giants packing. Norway absolutely shocks Argentina, bypassing the favorites and storming straight into the World Cup final. It's exactly the kind of magic that defines historic tournament runs.
So the crucial point is this. Our ultimate showdown is officially set. We've got France versus Norway. And this beautifully illustrates the wild unpredictability mapped out in our source material. You're matching up a proven, established football superpower in France against the tournament's absolute biggest wildcard in Norway. This is the final battle for the 2026 World Cup crown. Let's just look back at how France actually approaches this final match by reviewing their precise, dominant path to the championship. Step 1. They comfortably defeat Morocco. Step 2. They halt and completely overpower a surging Belgium squad. And finally, Step 3. They are predicted to conquer Norway. It's a methodical, almost surgical step-by-step march to the trophy, culminating in them comfortably taking down Norway in the final.
But this victory, it carries a much, much deeper significance. Our source outlines it perfectly with this quote: "What the form in the final could not do in 2022, it will do in 2026. It's honestly a little poetic, isn't it? This isn't just about winning a football tournament. It is being framed as the ultimate redemption arc for the French squad after the absolute heartbreak of that 2022 final.
And that right there is why this specific year, 2026, is so vital in this projection. The prediction is absolute. In 2026, the ghosts of the past are finally laid to rest. France will comfortably defeat Norway, and they will finally be crowned the FIFA World Cup champions once again. The equation mapped out by our source leads directly to this singular, definitive conclusion.
Which brings us to our final question for this explainer. You've seen the source's calculated path, from those highly dangerous shootouts to the shocking upsets, all culminating in France's grand redemption. But what about you? Will France actually redeem 2022 as predicted here, or is your bracket going to look entirely different? Keep this predictive path in the back of your mind as you map out your own sports prognostications for the 10th. Thanks so much for joining me as we unpack this wild prediction, and I can't wait to dive into our next explainer.